In the previous videos, we have mentioned about one of the consequences of unethical conduct where a published paper can be retracted from publications. The retracted papers remain traceable and the cause of retractions will be clearly stated by the relevant publisher, and this can have impacts on one's portfolio and his reputations in the academic communities. In these videos, we're going to discuss another consequences of unethical conduct, where these consequences is much more serious than the papers being retracted. This is related to academic fraud, which was published in a newspaper in 2016. Again, the names of the person involved and the institutions are made anonymous as we are discussing the case, not meant to penalize anybody. The article sounds like this: 3. A country-based scientist linked to research fraud. Falsified lab data cast doubt over a study by an ex-university professor's team. The research now is being called into questions after investigations by the university revealed that data from the laboratory experiments has been falsified. Doctor, the name, is no longer at the university, and Doctor, the name, has his PhD from the university being revoked. You know that academic fraud is a serious matter in the academic community, especially when a researcher chooses to falsify the lab data. The case here is there are 3 authors in the paper. One of them is a professor in a university. Another one is a PhD student who doing the research. They wrote a paper to publish, which is later found to have falsified lab data, claiming about the findings and a breakthrough of a research study, and quickly gain influence within the academic community. This triggered interest of the research community to proceed with the study, which was later found the findings and conclusions claimed by the 3 researchers was actually not workable and cannot be achieved. The only explanations for that it will be the falsifications of the lab data, and this triggered the investigations of the university, and then finally they found that they have been involved with the falsifications of the lab data. The newspaper articles actually put up their names as well as the name of the university and even their photos. It was quite a big deal then, as we seldom see this appear in the newspaper. With that, this gives us a lesson. Being a part of the research community, we are actually representing the people who are highly educated, having some specialized skill set with the expertise within a field of study. Whichever that we have claimed based on what we have studied are normally easier to gain acceptance of the general public. Therefore, in order to ensure the integrity of the research community, preventing those unethical researchers taking advantage over this highly reputable career to gain their own interests and reputations. Therefore, in order for us to stay in the research community, we will have to abide to the ethical conducts, and whatever you do, don't falsify your data and results. Even though you are so confident with the hypothesis, but the test results suggest the otherwise. If you have doubt over the test result, you can always go back to redo the study to double confirm your findings. Do not expect that nobody is going to check your works, although it seems like nobody is going to do so. However, there is a high chance that the future researcher would like to extend your study. Some may replicate or modify your study in order to gain understanding on the subjects that they are studying. And if you are falsifying the data, it is still possible to be known by somebody else. This brings to another point that when you decided to publish your works, you have to make sure the works are properly done. And for those professors and associate professors who are supervising the research works, as you are not the one that doing the work in the lab, you will still need to supervise your students carefully, ensure that they don't falsify the results. When you decide to have your names as one of the co-authors of the research, you are also considered accountable for the research study. As by fundamental, when the name appears in the author list, it is a declaration that the person is actively involved in the relevant research study as well.